What's going on, guys? Welcome back. I'm glad Adam's smiling because I am not smiling through pain. Manchester United 0, Real Sociedad 1 in what has got to be, I would say, one of the worst performances of the season, but we've watched games against Brentford and Brighton, so you can't go that far, but it was boring, absolutely boring. It was just like a testimonial game. It had vibes of just like no one could be asked. The rotation showed heavy, like it showed these players don't deserve a chance, in my personal opinion. And yeah, it was just shit. And we're going to get onto that decision as well with the penalty, which was an absolute howler. And we've got Adam and Sam on the show alongside me to analyse that crock of shit. Adam, just give me your first initial kind of thoughts of the game, and then we'll obviously dive into the decisions and stuff.
I think initial thoughts, I don't know whether it's to do what happened with the news that came out before kickoff. You've touched on it during the watch along. It just felt like a testimonial. It did. It felt like nobody was up for it, not any of the players. And in recent weeks, it's probably the most boring game I've watched, where I've nearly fallen asleep watching. I had to say, and I drank a can of Monster too, and I feel like I'm tired after watching that. Yeah, and that's saying, honestly, it's saying a lot. And it just felt none of them were up for it. The forward play, we lacked creativity. Even when we brought Bruno on, I thought he didn't bring much to the team. Then the tactical changes, I know we'll get into it. It felt like we lost width, especially in the second half when Dalot came off, playing Lindelof at right back. It's an early setback. I think we can recover from it in the group, but look, a very weird day anyway, given the news what broke. But just gotta hope that we can improve before the next game.
Yeah, and Sam, give us your thoughts as well on the game. Obviously, I imagine you agree with a lot of comments Adam was saying, but yeah, just your own take on it if you can.
Yeah, first half, I honestly don't remember anything. Like it just, it sort of it happened, and then I was like, oh shit, yeah, it's the second half, and it fuck.
It's not as if you could have made any notes. You know what I mean? Because no fuck all happened. So.
Fred was awful. Don't know what the fuck he was doing. Half the time, passing was erratic at best. Positioning was God knows what. I don't know if he was playing a 10, an 8. I don't know what he was doing. Tactical decisions by Ten Hag were a bit baffling. Some of the decisions he made, I was like, what? I don't understand what's happening here. Why are we doing this? Ronaldo's body language was really poor in the first half. It just didn't seem like he was up for it. Didn't seem arsed. Didn't seem like he was.
I was pissing me off. That was annoying.
He was doing my head. Yeah, he's doing my head in.
Yeah.
Second half came out a little better, a little more energy, a little more sort of give and go. I think the subs helped. Lissandro was very, very good when he came on.
Yeah.
I thought Garnacho showed a few glimpses of something. Ronaldo seemed to play a little better. Seemed to be have a bit more bite. But yeah, and then we just got kind of done by a really dodgy VAR decision. Really, really bad one. Do not get it on any level. What rule interpreting? I don't get what rule they were interpreting, because in no rules anywhere is that a handball. I don't care who you are, it's not a handball. So yeah, just overall very frustrating night, very uneventful night, and yeah, not happy with the result or the performance.
One thing that stuck out to me straight away, I went, right, so we've got a midfield of Eriksen, Casemiro, Fred. Why is Fred playing as a 10? Why the fuck did Ten Hag put Fred as a 10? Like, at this point, I felt like, remember when Ralph Rangnick played Lindelof at right back at Atletico Madrid? Yeah. And you felt like, oh, he's just put him there just to give him some game time, just to get him a bit of thinger. I feel like he just put Fred there and said, right, you can play there. He must have not watched him as play before, putting him in a number 10. Being the creative outlet, first time passing, touch has to be absolutely spot on. And you put Fred there, of all people. Like, he's the worst possible player you could put there. Maybe he wanted a bit of pressing from the front, a bit of aggression, but some of the passes he was playing at times, we obviously on the watch long, we did every time Fred misses a pass, we have some of our drink. I must have had about 6 whiskies or something, or 7 whiskies. Honestly, he was terrible. Can anyone wrap their mind around the fact of Fred playing as a 10? Please, someone give me any substance, any kind of methodical thinking to this.
the only thing is pressing from the front, as you mentioned. I can't, as a creative Augsburg, he's not.
He has no attacking aspects of his game that you think would lend themselves to number 10. His shooting is awful. His passing forward is questionable at times. And then his decision making is really, really poor as well. So it's like all the things you need for a number 10, which Eriksen is fucking excellent at.
Mm-hmm.
And he's playing in the 8. Like, it's bizarre. Fucking bizarre.
Anthony Elango as well, left-hand side. Me and Adam agreed with this in the comment section. How he stayed on for the pitch for so long, we're talking 70 minutes, he had no effect on that game. He got into good positions with his pace because he's an athlete, right? He's got a little bit of strength about him. He's got a bit of pace. But when he gets in the important key areas, he does nothing with it. Absolutely nothing with it.
I said that, in the comments. I said 70% he'll do the good work, the hard work, and then right at the end, the final 30%, he just always screws up on. And I mentioned it, I think it was since, I don't know whether it's knocked his confidence, the penalty miss, was it against Sunderland or someone like that?
Middlesbrough.
It was in the Middlesbrough in the Carabao Cup. He just hasn't seemed the same. I know he got the goal against Atletico that time away in Madrid, but he hasn't looked the same since, really. As a creative Augsburg, as I was saying about Fred, he just doesn't create. When he creates that much, he always screws up at the last minute, the final second. You know, the key pass, when you need someone to be composed at that last second. And Sancho is usually that player who'll stay composed and actually pick out the right pass at the right time.
He was poor as well, Sancho, when he came on.
Yeah.
He was really poor.
I think he should have maybe played on the left.
I think the reason why Sancho was poor, though, is because we lost our width. And Sancho is a system player. He needs them underlaps, overlaps to create space himself so he can dictate play.
His finishing was really bad as well. Like, he had that chance where the ball came over the top. And good ball. And he just swiped it and missed it. It's just like, when have you seen Sancho, like, with that bad of a sort of ball, sort of touch and control? Like, it's weird.
Do you think there's a case of, because it's Europa League and it's at home, you're against Sociedad, do you think there's been a bit of a lapse in mentality here where they've got, obviously with the switch of players that we've had as well, a lot of players who have not had game time, maybe not in the right kind of mental frame of mind to go into this game? I know you should be, because obviously, regardless, whatever player, if you play for Manchester United, you should always be ready to play. But it just seemed straight from the off, it was just stale. It was just nothing to get excited about. There was there was a little bit of intensity first 5 minutes of like pressing and stuff, and then it just became like two teams who just kept giving each other the ball back. You know what I mean?
Nick, we pointed out many times over the last couple of weeks the spine of the team, but the spine that started that game isn't used to the system that Ten Hag has been playing, especially in recent weeks. You look at it: Maguire, Casemiro, Ronaldo, straight down the middle. Lindelof too, yeah. And to be fair, they aren't used to the system that we've been playing in recent weeks, where we went on a 4-game winning streak. And I think that really showed in the game today. Maybe he's not involving them in training as much because he knows he's starting 11. He's preferred 11.
Yeah.
But it seems like he tried to play that style of play that he has been playing in recent weeks, but the players don't fit it. I think Casemiro will come good. I do think he will.
Can we just stay on Casemiro, right? Because I saw a lot. I seen a lot of things that he did was good, but it was a lot of times he gave the ball away.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've seen him do it a good few games.
He looked rusty.
You got to call it like.
He looked really rusty. He looked like he's not played for. Like, it looks like the sort of first game of pre-season, second game pre-season. He looks like he's not up to pace. He looks like he's not up to scratch. So I don't know if that's because Ten Hag's bedding in him slowly, and he's like getting the feel for the team and his teammates and the pace of the Premier League and all that sort of stuff. That's probably why he picked this game to play him, because it's Europa League. Maybe it's a familiar speed, a familiar pace. So maybe that's why he picked him for this game rather than the Premier League games where he's not started. But I think we suffered there from like over-rotating the team a bit too much. Took away our two central defenders who arguably been our best players for the last couple of weeks. Took out Bruno again, who's been very, very good the last couple of games, especially against Arsenal. We took out Rashford. We took out Sancho and Anthony, that starting pair. We took out Eriksen from his really good performance and put him in at the back for some reason instead of more forward. And I think Dalot, why did we substitute Dalot? I don't understand why we took him off at any, but I don't understand
He
why
lost
he was
their
taken
width
off.
as soon as he came off.
Just bizarre decision making from Ten Hag there to take Dalot off. Don't understand that move at all.
Well, this is going to be my next point. I understand if you're resting players, you got a game against Palace on Sunday. But as we know, what's being reports, there isn't going to be any games on the weekend. So why are we resting players? Surely you could have got 90 minutes out of them there. As soon as you take that width away, I felt like Sociedad got in a lot more as well. There's so many opportunities they had. If they had a bit more quality players, they would have killed us off by a couple of goals.
We were getting done.
They had really good opportunities.
We were getting done down that right-hand side once Dalot came off. Like, when Lindelof went out there, we were getting done repeatedly. That cross went over. I think there was a really good cross that went over, and Martinez managed to get a touch on it and take it away from him. There was another cross that went in, and he just barely sort of didn't quite get it. So there was a couple of crosses that came in from that right-hand side. And just Lindelof in it right. He's not right back. We saw it when Ralph did it in the Champions League, and we were like, "What the fuck is he doing? Why is he doing this?" It didn't work.
Well, that's another one where you look at it like it's just game time. Do you know what I mean? Like, just put him there so he'll stay on. He'll be happy with the game time. But they haven't proven anything at all. And if you look, the competitions we've got this year: Europa League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and then obviously we've got a World Cup in November, December. Players playing a lot of fucking games, and you're gonna have to rely on some of these players going forward. And I don't trust any of it. I don't trust Elanga. Don't think Elanga's nowhere near good enough. I think he's just an athlete with, his first touch is terrible and his decision making isn't the best.
I feel
Lindelof and Maguire ain't good enough at all. Where's Luke Shaw? Why has Luke Shaw not been given a run out? Like,
I feel bad for Elanga because, like, look, he's clearly a young player who's trying to develop and learn. He shouldn't be a first team player at this point in his career. He shouldn't be.
He should be on loan.
He should be either on loan or he should be getting minutes like Garnacho does. 20 minutes here, 15 minutes here, starting a really low stakes game like in a Carabao Cup against like Northampton or something like that. That's what he should be doing. And instead, he's a first team player. He's the option to a Rashford or Sancho. He's our option. And he shouldn't be that. And he's putting too much pressure on him and he's stunting his growth and his confidence and stuff like that. And I feel sorry for him because he's been having this pressure put on him and then he's putting in really bad performances like that. And then people are getting on his back and it's kind of not his fault because his development's been stunted and he shouldn't be put in that position. But that's because of the lack of squad depth and the lack of investment in the squad. So that's where he's at the minute, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's embarrassing that we spent 220 million and we still need squad depth. After that, it just again highlights the poor recruitment that we've had over the past 10 to 12 years, whatever. Because, and to be honest, I know the young lads. I personally thought didn't have a massive impact. Charlie McNeil, I forgot he was on the pitch. Genuinely forgot he came on. But again, the young players, and you kind of looking to them to try to do something rather than players that have been in the squad for fucking ages. You know what I mean? They didn't produce anything at all. So I am worried going for the rest of the season.
We're kind
of cup competitions.
We're kind of in what Liverpool were in the position a couple of years ago, where their first 11 was really, really good, but then their bench was fucking shocking. Like they had like Origi, Minamino, Milner, stuff like that. Their bench was shite. Yeah. That's where we're at. Our first 11 is very good, very strong, but squad depth wise and options don't have any really.
I think we had Casemiro, who's won 5 Champions League, Ronaldo, who's won 5 Champions League, and they was underwhelming. Antony, I thought our new signing wasn't great. He was all right. Yeah, in bursts, he was all right, but then at times he was doing stupid stuff. So you've got players there in Ronaldo and Casemiro with a massive pedigree in Europe, one of the best. Ronaldo all-time top goal scorer.
I don't think Ronaldo wants to be here, personally. I don't think he wants to be here.
His body language, just like, and that can be contagious. We discussed this so many times. I'm just like, I get you couldn't get your move and you wanted to move, but I wouldn't play him. That's
why Ten Hag hasn't played him. That's why he's not started. He started now, but he hasn't started in the Premier League. That's why he's not starting. Because this is probably what Ten Hag's seen in training. He's not interested. His body language is poor. I'm sure he works hard in training, goes to the gym, does the runs. I'm sure he does that because that's who Ronaldo is and he's going to want to stay in shape. But his body language, he's whinging about everything, complaining. that penalty shout at the end was really, really soft. Like, and he was complaining like he was absolutely bundled. He wasn't. It just wasn't a penalty. So he doesn't want to be here. In my opinion, I don't think he wants to be here. He wanted to go.
Oh, we know it. He's publicly said it, hasn't he?
And that's why he's not played. And then it's criminal that we didn't bring a striker in. Absolutely criminal that we didn't buy a striker. It's probably absolutely criminal as well that we didn't buy a right back, because if Dalot gets injured, that's our option. Lindelof at right back. That's what we got to do.
It depends what happens with Wan-Bissaka, innit? But it's crazy to say as well that, you know, Ten Hag has been using Marcus Rashford as a number 9 and getting matches against Liverpool, against Arsenal, against these kind of teams. Where do you stand, Adam, with this Ronaldo situation? Because I know you've been a little bit back and forth with it, saying maybe start him, or now you're like, well, if he doesn't want to be here, let him go. What do you do with this situation now? Because we've got him for the rest of the season, or at least until January.
You gotta wait and see, because it's clear and obvious Ten Hag has his preferred starting 11, and Ronaldo isn't in that. So this is his best bet at getting game time, and then he puts a performance in like that, and he hasn't really shown anything. So, like, what can he really do? I think the next game we're away, aren't we?
Well, supposed to be away at Palace, but
yeah. Well, like in this competition alone, like.
Yeah, we will be, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking at. I'd honestly start Rashford away on this. I drop Ronaldo after that performance, but
it depends if Martial's back at that point.
That's true. Yeah. Is he reliable though? Like, I know we all want to see him in the team.
He's got to be given an opportunity. He's got to be given an opportunity, hasn't he? Because he played really well in pre-season, and then he unfortunately got injured. So I think he has to be given an opportunity. Ronaldo's been given the opportunity, and he's not performed. Yeah. So Martial deserves the same opportunity.
Now, I had to say, I think the team didn't really tick because Fred did play in the number 10. I think that's your creative outspark for the team, and we just didn't create that much. I think the only real shoutable chance that we had was the disallowed goal from Ronaldo, and we didn't really create that much chances from him. But we've seen him get in behind, and he took a really, really bad touch, and that's unlike him. Usually he's really good. He's a good first touch, but I think it's just match awareness. I put it in the group, and like, he does need kind of a few more minutes, but
that's due down to his own downfall, isn't it? Because he didn't have a pre-season, due to himself, his own fault. So if he's not up to scratch, he's not up to max fitness, that's completely his own fault.
It is his own fault, and we've seen it. He didn't take part in all the pre-season until, I think, was it the game that I watched that was one of the worst watch-alongs, although this is probably taking the credit.
This is getting
yeah. I mean, Brentford takes the biscuit for me. That was fucking bad. That was bad.
Yeah, Brentford, at least you had action. I know it was on their side. This game, you had fuck all. There was nothing to analyse really. But there was one thing that I wanted to say towards the end that I wanted to discuss, and it was that VAR decision, the penalty, which absolutely baffled me why they give that. I didn't see it at first, so I was like, oh, right, okay, so dived into it, his arms are right. It's hit his arm. No. It hit his knee and then hit his elbow. And they've given someone at Stockley Park at VAR has had a look at that, and they've gone, yeah, that's a valid. He's meant to do that. He's purposely done that and got his hand in the way.
And his hand is tucked in too. It's tucking in, yeah.
It's not even in an unnatural position.
He's twisting away as well, like his arms. He's pulling away. So it's like,
how else are you supposed to dive into a tackle? He's supposed to like what else are you supposed to do? He's gone into it, and his elbows are literally tucked into his side there as you go. That's how anyone tackles. Anyone who plays football knows that. He can't even. It's not as if he's hit his arm first, you might go, well, maybe he's blocked it a bit. He's lifted his arm up a bit, but it's not. It's bounced off his knee. You can't give that. And after the weekend they've had with VAR, with that terrible decision at fucking Newcastle, the terrible decision at Chelsea, I think it was against West Ham, where fucking Mendy gets stepped on or whatever. They've gone and done this now, and I'm just scratching my head thinking, what is the point of having all this technology that you spent absolutely millions and millions of pounds on, and you look at a decision like that, and that really, the way the game was going, that killed the game really, because if we get towards the 80th, 90th minute Sociedad start panicking a bit, it's 0-0. We probably get a goal towards the end, and we end up winning the game. Very easy to say in hindsight or whatever, and that might not happen, but that killed the game off completely. That giving them that penalty, like it was absolutely shocking.
Before you get into that, Adam, let me rattle off a couple of comments, and then you can do what you. Ugly Bear, awful game. Front three, Vilanga, Ronaldo, and two, but poor. Dan Raj, Maguire, Lindelof, and Fred back in the team, played like we did last season. Wing backs were substitute out to keep them fresh. Tagnag might not have known about the game's cancellation. Could be. Ugly Bear thought he would never say this, but we miss McTominay in the midfield. I mean, yeah, sounds like it.
Oh God!
Shout out to Ashley Dallow in the chat, long time viewer. Appreciate being here, mate. Hi all. I said to my wife 2 hours before kickoff, Maguire starts, I'm not watching the game as we were losing. Here we are. Thank God I didn't lose my sleep to watch this match. Thomas Tuchel has been sacked. The Queen's passed away. Man United lost. Sad day.
A lot of depression in the chat. Can I just say though, Maguire didn't really do a lot out of the thing there. I was like, that was absolutely terrible. There was maybe the odd few moments, but I thought there was other players on the pitch that put in a worse fucking performance than he did.
Fred
being fucking one of them. Ilanga being another one of them. Like, terrible performance all around the pitch.
Yeah, Adam, talk about the VAR thing.
Oh yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, just in the VAR call. I know there is different rules in Europe than there is in the Premier League, and I think we have kind of benefited in the past from kind of soft rules in Europe, but I thought they changed the rules after that, particularly the PSG away game.
Dallo.
When Dallo took the shot and I think it hit Kimpembe, I think it was. His arm. Yeah, and I know it was a soft pen. At the time, though, the rules were if it hits the hand, it's a handball. But since that, I'm pretty sure they did change the rule. And if it comes off another part of the body before hitting the hand, it's not a handball. That's what I heard, because you can't get your hand out of the way when it deflects off another part of the body.
You can't control where the deflection's going to go. Like, it's ridiculous.
So I don't know where they've actually looked at that in VAR and actually decided, oh yeah, that's deliberate, because it has to be a deliberate handball.
Yeah.
So I'm genuinely baffled. I am, but I think if it was, and it's saying a lot, if it was in the Premier League, it wouldn't have been given, and that's saying a lot.
VAR sorry, Nick.
No. Go.
It's like, if you're a conspiracy theorist, you think there was some sort of corruption going on at VAR, because every game for the last like 3 or 4 days, there's been a decision that's been like, what the fuck?
Baffling.
Like, it's so weird. Like last season, there was a couple of things here and there, but for the most part, it got things like pretty right. It's been 6 games this season, and every weekend there seems to be a decision where you're going, what the fuck are they what are they doing? It's bizarre. They need to get a hold of this, and they need to do it now. They need to sort it out, because it's going to cost so many teams games, points, titles, all this different stuff, and you're going to have like the teams and the institutions like suing the FA and the PGML and all this sort of stuff, because it's getting ridiculous now. Like, if we can't tell what a handball is and what a foul is and what an off, like, it's just getting absolutely ridiculous now.
I think if you look at the standards, especially at the Euros with it, I thought with the Euros the VAR was very good.
Yeah.
I thought, Italy used it very well.
Bundesliga do it perfect. Every Bundesliga decision's spot on.
Yeah.
But I have to say, UEFA refs seem to be very, very harsh. I think they've been particularly harsh to us in the last decade, in particular.
That Atletico game. You remember that, Nick?
Yeah.
The corruption on that ref, like, my word.
Fucking idiot, man. I remember Real Madrid coming to Old Trafford to Nani getting sent off. I remember that being very, very.
Yeah.
It wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
It was accidental, and it has to be intentional for a straight red. But I think UEFA refs are told, "Oh, go for your card." But it's a shame, because it kills the flow of the game. It does.
Yeah.
Especially a yellow card, to a defender, like, he won't make the tackle. He'll feel the need that he won't make the tackle when he might be last man back, which is a shame. It kills games. It does, and I think there needs to be a whole reform, particularly with English and UEFA refs. Bundesliga refs seem to be very, very spot on, as we mentioned. Serie A refs too.
What's gone in your head, Nick? Come on,
Yeah,
share with the group. Share with the group.
I've still got BT on in the background, right? And I don't know what it is. It's like some weird form of rugby in like a circle. I don't know what the sport's called. But there was a guy on the side, like an officiator, and he's got like a porn tash. And he had like a flag, and he was giving a decision, and he went like that. It's just caught me eye there.
There's a question in the chat, Nick. Can we please rate Casemiro's match, please? How did he play in his first full start?
We're going to get into ratings right now. Let's do him. Let's start off with him. David De Gea, fuck all to do, really. To be honest, the penalty went the right way, but like it was one of them things. I give him a 6. I give it a 6.
Yeah.
Sam?
Yeah.
Dallo, don't even know.
6.
Didn't really do much, did it?
I'd say a 5.5 because compared to his last couple of performances that have been really, really good, this is below the standard.
Off the pace, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Looked a bit tired and stuff. Wasn't getting bombing up and down as much. Yeah, 5.5. Maguire 6. Again, people will scapegoat him and say he's done shit or whatever, blah blah. But he wasn't no worse than anyone else in that pitch, in my opinion.
I thought his passing out to the left and the right was all right.
Yeah, exactly. He was just all right, wasn't it? It's not significant, but nothing.
He had a header opportunity in the box towards the end, and he fucked it. But apart from that, that was it.
So do we agree with 6? Should we just give Lindelof a 6 as well? Like I don't. Obviously, got moved
to
right back.
He was poor at right back. But
he
again,
if it was right back, we'll give him a 5. But like centre back, give him a 6.
Yeah.
5.5.
Yeah, 5.5. Let's go with that. Malacio.
I thought he was good. I thought he was good.
You thought he was good?
Yeah. Not as good as he has been the last couple of the weeks, but like I think his passing was on point. He was aggressive again, and he was pushing forward and trying to make things happen. I thought because was he Elanga on the left? Elanga played on the left, didn't he? He had Elanga in front of him, and he had no outlet. Like he's giving it to Elanga, and then Elanga's running down blind alleys and just fucking like. So for me, I thought it was decent, but
Adam,
I'd probably give him a 5.5. I thought, in particularly the first half, him and Fred's passing wasn't the best. Yeah. I know second half it did improve, but like we've seen in recent weeks, he's had Sancho in front of him, and he's looked a lot better because Sancho likes to cut in, so he has a bit more space on the left. But Elanga seemed to run down on
keeps the width a bit more, doesn't he?
Keeps the weight a bit more, as you say there. So he didn't have much overlap in runs to do, but 5.5 probably today. Yeah.
And then we move on to I can't remember
Casemiro.
Asking Casemiro. Yeah, it's a tough one because there was moments where he'd get it and give it straight away, and he had like round the corner passes. I thought, that was nice. That was what you're all about. He was cleaning up at times, but then at times he must. I think if you go back and watch the game now, there was probably 3-4 times where he gave the ball away. Stupid passes where you don't really expect that from an elite DM who's one of the best in the world, but I would probably give him a 5.5 to be honest. Didn't think he was great at all.
Yeah, I'd probably give him the exact same. I thought it was a bit loose in possession at times, giving away the ball a good bit. But there was glimpses of, you can see his quality. I remember he got it out to Anthony one time. It was a really, really good ball out into the right side.
Yeah.
But I thought he'd do a bit more of a job on David Silva, but David Silva seemed to drift a bit more left.
He started to drop a little bit more free roll.
Yeah, exactly. So he couldn't really pick him up as much. Maybe that was to do. I think Fred could have done the role if he dropped a bit deeper rather than playing the number 10 at times. But I think 5.5 today is a wee bit of work to do before he can, call him a starter in that Ten Hag system. He's to learn a bit before that.
I think he will adapt. It'll come with time, but at the minute, crazy to say McTominay's probably starting over him due to performances, which is nuts. Sam?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's still getting used to the pace of English football. I think he's still getting used to Ten Hag's system because it's quite different to the Real Madrid system that he previously played in. I think he'll get there. He's too good and his quality is too much for him not to eventually get to the point where he is a regular and you can't drop him. But he's still on his way there. So for me, it's 6. Like he wasn't prime Casemiro by any means.
Of course. Eriksen should just give a 6 because he went off at like half time, didn't he? He was doing Ericsson things, so we'll give him a 6.
Poor lad's probably knackered, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. It was a surprising started, to be honest. The best one we get onto now, Fred.
Fucking hell.
I'm giving him a 3.5. I'm not even joking. He was awful.
I'd give him a 4 because there was a ball he played in for a Ronaldo opportunity that was very, very good. Yeah. And that's the only good thing he did. The rest of it, his passing was terrible. His ball retention was terrible. His touch. What happened to his touch? Why has his touch gone to absolute shit? It looked like every time he...
fucking trampling feet.
Today it was like even worse. Like he'd get the ball and it looked like he's never controlled the ball in his life. It's like fucking ping off and stuff. Like ridiculous. For me, 4. He was terrible. That
pass you mentioned then, the good thing, I remember it was a very good pass, but it's like putting glitter on a piece of dog shit because I just thought there was so many bad things. Like there was probably 60 bad things he did in that game, and that one good thing where I was like, yeah, that was decent to be fair, but
bipolar mental patient Fred's back in here. He's back.
Yeah. And he's burning fucking everywhere. He's burning everything down.
If you throw enough shit at a dartboard, you're eventually going to hit the bullseye, you know.
Exactly.
And that's what I felt like. He kept giving away the ball. I'm actually struggling to think, did he do anything right? Rather than because he done everything wrong. He did.
That pass, that's it. The pass, literally, that's it. That's all I can remember.
And was that why he was in the number 10 role, to play that pass? No, it was probably the person.
Fucking don't know. Really don't know.
We don't know. We're questioning it now, but I think 4.
Yeah, 4 for
today.
Me.
Okay, I think that's generous, but we move. Ilanga, I'll give it. Thought it was shite. Again, thought it was absolutely terrible. I'm not even like trying to be nice in these ratings. I'm slaughtering because I thought it was terrible.
Again, I said. Oh, sorry, Adam.
I was just going to say, I think I give 4 on par with Fred. Done 70% of the work, and then the final 30% just lacked it every time. He always played the wrong pass, or he held the ball for too long, released it at the wrong time. He's just not ready, he isn't. And I do feel bad for the lad because he couldn't be playing in the deep end this soon.
Sam, sorry.
Yeah, I said what I said about Elanga before, why I don't think he should be playing, but why he is playing and why I feel sorry for him. But again, he's a victim of the situation, and unfortunately he's playing this way and he's not great. So 4.5 for me. I wish we had some depth in that area. I wish we had some depth at right back, but we haven't, and this is what we have.
All he is running, really. That's what it is in recent weeks. A dog chasing cars.
Well, Nick said like ages ago, he's a really good athlete, but that's it. That's it, really.
Yeah, we might as well get fucking Mo Farah on left wing if we're just going to think. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it might as well because they do the same thing, same job. Anthony, right wing, underwhelming. I'd give a 5.5. Didn't think he was great at all. It was
I didn't notice him. Like,
it was things like the first minute him and Casemiro had players on a good start, and then after that actually on the ball he did a dummy. I think near the start of the second half where he took like 3 of the Sociedad players out of the game and then ran up the wing. But there's other things where he lost the ball quite a lot of the times. His link-up play wasn't the best. He was getting bullied physically quite a bit. Yeah. So I'd give him 5.5.
Yeah, I feel like he didn't utilise Dallo when he was on the pitch that much. He liked to play very, very wide when he should have maybe tucked in a bit further and allowed for the overlap. And then when Dallo came off and Lindelof was there, we just lost all our width.
Yeah. Can I just put you on that point very quickly as well? You make a good point there. Because the reason why Ten Hag brought in Anthony, right, was because usually Jadon Sancho's on the left. Jadon Sancho likes to cut in, so he brings it narrow, where that's why you have to have Anthony on the right-hand side because he'll keep his width. So that makes sense when you play them two together. But as we just discussed with Ilanga likes to be direct and keep the width himself. So you've got no one drifting in so the wing-backs can overlap. Do you know what I mean? And that again, that's, obviously goes with what you just said.
And then obviously when Dallo did go off, Lindelof came on. He wasn't making those overlap runs, so he was left then by himself, and he was hugging the touchline a lot. And they seemed to put 2 men on him at all times. Yeah. He kept getting shut down. He did, and we just had no creativity out in that. And I think it came to a point where Fred, I don't know how he lasted that long on the pitch. Him playing number 10, maybe he should have came a bit closer to him to try and get the ball a bit more,
Yeah.
To create things. But he didn't. The gap between Fred and Anthony, it just seemed huge at all times during the game. And he's meant to be playing number 10. So I think that's where he fell victim for it. So probably, I think 5.5 today.
Sam?
Yeah, he was not noticeable for most of the game, to be honest with you. I like his attitude and his commitment and stuff, but yeah, like you were mentioning about the width and the stuff like that, it's just he got isolated in that second half, and it was just kind of like he was left to his own devices, and he's kind of, if you don't feed him the ball, he's very ineffective. He needs to be on the ball. That's when he's most effective. Couple of comments. Hashidao Ilanga, not a Man United player, is not good enough for the first team. They really need to go for Cody Gakpo. We need a striker, proper one. Yeah, totally agree, mate.
And then we have Cristiano Ronaldo. Don't know where to start with this. There was a few things where I'm like, again, this is the theme throughout the full team. Did the odd good thing where I was like, right, I can see what I'm trying to do. I didn't like it when he... Yeah, not as bad, nowhere near as bad as Fred. I don't get why he still takes free kicks. He has the odd one. Don't get me wrong, the odd one. Did he score one when he was at a game, Adam? Yeah.
That's the last free kick he scored.
But he had him at the fucking jackpot there because he scores like 1 out of 8. His free kick record's terrible.
It's Roberto Carlos said it.
Bruno on it.
It's Roberto Carlos.
He's got knuckleball technique.
Yeah,
he's got knuckleball technique, and it always hits the ball or goes Rose head, like 9 times out of 10. And this is another thing, like, because it's Ronaldo, no one would be like, maybe Bruno should go on this and put a ball into whatever.
Was Eriksen on the pitch at the time?
No. Okay. Eriksen went on the pitch because I was saying if Eriksen was.
Eriksen on the pitch, he needs to be taking that.
But I don't want to scapegoat Ronaldo again. He won't play one. There was, like Fred Elanga, there was other players who had worse performances than him. But I do feel like he's having a bad effect on this team who are trying to grow and develop, and maybe there's a bit of a stink in the room with Ronaldo. I don't know. I don't want to overdo it. But I thought he was underwhelming. I'll probably give him 5.5.
I think that's a fair assessment, 5.5. He had a good few half chances, and I think his touch let him down. I did mention in the chat that I think it was match awareness, but it's himself to blame because he decided not to come back for pre-season. He came back late. Ten Hag, fair enough, gave him a start earlier in the season, and what happened? We got battered 4-0. And okay, look, he wasn't the worst player on the pitch that day, but it's a team effort. It is at the end of the day. And if you're getting battered, you have to put in a bit more work you do, especially to win back the ball. And he didn't do that much against Brentford. But today he had the ball in the back of the net. On another day, I think he would have remained onside. I think he just needs that goal for his confidence and just to feel good, because I think his confidence is a bit down, and I think he takes it out on the entire team. Like, oh, why aren't you creating these chances? But then when you look at when the team create chances, he's taking a bad touch. He is, or he's overdoing it. So I think 5.5, maybe 5.5. I don't think he done much right today.
I think, Sam, just before you get into your thing there, if you were to put a gun to Ronaldo's head and said, would you rather get your goal that you're dying to score now, come away with a 1-1, or would you rather the team win? He'd probably want the goal and take the draw. That's how I feel like his application is pitch at the minute. He just wants what he wants. Doesn't matter what the rest of the team is. He wants his goal so he can shut everyone up and be like, I'm back or whatever. That's what the vibe I'm getting off him.
I said this during the group chat and then earlier in this review. I don't think he's interested. I don't think he gives a toss at this point. I think he's annoyed that he has to play in the Europa League. I think he's annoyed that he didn't get his move to a Champions League club. And I think he's annoyed that, like you said, his teammates are not making it all about him and involve him in the game totally. Because clearly Ten Hag's gameplay is a team game. He's all about team. Everybody contributes. Everybody works together. Whereas when Ronaldo's in your team, it all has to go through him. It all has to feed him, give him, and he's the main star and stuff like that. And he's not that guy at the minute for United. He's not. So his body language shows it. Like, he was as soon as the ball didn't get to him or didn't quite reach him, he'd just stop and just go and just like walk off in another direction. Whereas if you're Martial or Rashford at that point, you're chasing that ball, you're chasing that defender, and hoping he makes a mistake to get the ball off him, or you're taking up another position. Ronaldo's just going and chucking his hands up and fucking off, and then he's complaining, and it's just he's not interested. He doesn't want to be here. And
he's not buying into it, innit?
No, he's not. He doesn't want to be here. And now after that, I'm fully justified with Ten Hag not starting him, because this is what he's getting. This is what you get out of him. And I don't even believe if he got a goal, he'd play better. I just don't think he's interested. I don't think he wants to be here. For me, 5. He's not. He doesn't want to be here.
Very interesting assessment from the Saint there. Yeah, so look, did we ask man of the match? I don't even know at this point, because the man of the match for Sociedad, as Dan said in the comment section, was Fred.
Martinez. He was fantastic when he came on.
Yeah,
he was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, I said the same thing. I think Lisandro was the best player, and he was only on for 45 minutes or whatever. Can I just say as well, just to play a little bit of devil's advocate with Ronaldo, we did have Fred as a 10. Just to throw that out there, you know what I mean. But yeah, again, underwhelming performance. And yeah, Alessandro will be my man of the match. So we're all in agreement with that. I think we've agreed with the game. Boring as fuck, underwhelming. A lot of players need to step up, because we've got a lot of games this season, a lot of cup competitions, and you've got a World Cup to top that at the end of the year, where players are going to go away and stuff. So we need to rely on these kind of players, and if they perform like that, we ain't winning no trophies this season. No. We certainly ain't going to win the Premier League. And playing like that, we ain't going to win any other kind of game. So very underwhelming. I would say we've got Crystal Palace to respond to on Sunday.
We don't know though.
We don't know.
Until tomorrow.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on with that, so we'll kind of play that by ear. If that does, preview on Saturday, and obviously the watch along on Sunday. But tomorrow we'll have the FPL roundup, and we'll have a look at how everyone's doing on that. Obviously the weekend that's just gone with football. So yeah, make sure you tune in for that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, please. Push us up to 550. Help us achieve our goal, and like the video, and we will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Peace.
Peace.